You will see, and you will most certainly become aware that the best things in life happen when you least expect them. And this is the situation that I'm talking about, which is actually going to take place in between the 11th and the 17th of March 2022. What you're going to come across is going to be mind-blowing. What you're going to see, it's going to be absolutely such an integral part of your spiritual journey when it comes to that inspiration, that power, that energy in order to get on with your life, but also to have that power and confidence to kind of carry on with things that you may not kind of like really have the whole picture of how you're gonna get there exactly, but it's about following your intuition. It's about you trusting yourself, but also understanding and realizing that at the same time, you know, this life can be really strange, it can be really bizarre, which most certainly you are aware of, but at the same time it is also as important to just keep on, you know, staying committed to things that make us feel really good, staying committed to things that make us feel optimistic, staying committed to things that make us feel alive, staying committed to things that make sense to us. This is important. This month it's going to bring you one of the most significant breakthroughs you had in a long time, because at the same time this specific situation that I'm talking about, that is going to take place in between the 11th and the 17th of March, it's slowly but surely going to open your eyes. It's slowly but surely going to really give you that strong foundation of the spiritual journey that you're at, but at the same time it's going to help you to make sense of things that absolutely don't make sense, because and that were just like so much kind of slowing you down, and it was affecting your progress over the last 36 months. So this is important, because that stage and the period in between the 11th and the 17th of March, it's only the beginning, okay? And just remember that this is a completely unexpected, this is going to happen completely unexpectedly, but you're going to like this so much, because by the time you get to the 30th and the 31st of March, there is going to be an absolutely mind-blowing opportunity that you're going to become aware of. But these are only going to be the beginning stages of this opportunity. And if you didn't go through what you will go through in between the 11th and the 17th of March, you would never, ever, ever be able to recognize this opportunity, let alone to like kind of like pretty much so feel so strong and confidence in order to take this on. My gorgeous Gemini, you have been waiting for this for a long time. So now all you have to do throughout this month is just be as spontaneous as you possibly can. And when I say that you need to be as spontaneous as you possibly can, remember every single time when you have this like very powerful energy that it's going to take over, and there is going to be like on the 3rd of March, the 13th of March and the 31st of March also. These 3 days are going to be so important when it comes to like this specific energy which is about to enter your life in form of the actual inspiration, because all these 3 days are going to be completely different, but it's all going to be pointing towards something specific. It's all going to be pointing towards the certain thing. It's all going to be pointing towards the same thing. So this is, it's all about you pretty much so being aware of this, but also feeling this vibration and paying attention to it. So it's about things that you are feeling inspired by, that is bringing this optimism, and this optimism really enhances your personal power, your personal energy. You need this at this stage in your life, especially when it comes to planning, especially when it comes to inspiration, because it helps us not only to be on top of things, but it rejuvenates our spirit, it rejuvenates our soul. And that, my gorgeous Gemini, it's something that is completely undestroyable. My name is Sasha Bonasin, and I'm a psychic medium, and this is your monthly horoscope tarot card reading, and it's for you, my gorgeous Gemini, and it's for March 2022. So this monthly horoscope tarot card focus is for you, my gorgeous Gemini, and it's for March 2022. When it comes to the actual number, your number is 62 in numerology. This is a very very powerful number, and it means that you're reaching a very, very mature stage of your life. And when I say very mature stage of your life, it's pretty much so things that you have learned so far are all going to come into play here, and that in itself is going to reflect on your own bravery. It means that you are reaching a very important stage of your life where you do have a necessary bravery in order to actually kind of like start a certain journey that you couldn't start before. I think that you were affected quite a lot without you even realizing, quite lots of negative energy from the outside have kind of impacted and influenced your way of thinking. And this is something that you have to break through. And this is something that you must ignore. You have to ignore this because it's stealing your energy. And if your energy is stolen, it's affecting your balance. And if your balance is affected, then it means that, this is going to affect your planning. And if that affects your planning when it comes to your life and when it comes to your future, it means that you just end up in like a stationary mode. And this is something that you have to ignore. Okay, this is something that you have to bypass. And most certainly the number 62 in numerology, it's all about the strength and capacity that you're going to realize at the same time. You are pretty much so. This is the time of departure, and this in itself is going to be obvious on the 27th and the 28th of March. It's about the option and opportunity that you will have, but this is to do with an advancement, but it's also to do with a certain altercation that you're going to be certain alteration that you're going to become aware of, but at the same time it's to do with like kind of like a lot of elements of the unknown when it comes to the actual future. You're going to be worrying about something, but before that will slow you down, but now you will just really kind of like go forward. It's important because by that moment in time, there's certain things that are going to unfold, which is all going to kind of like contribute towards you wanting to make the necessary step and necessary change in your life. This is going to reflect on your well-being in the best possible way. It's going to make you feel so much better about yourself. It's going to kind of help you to make sense, out of your life. I'm not saying that your life didn't make sense, but you will know that this is something that will make sense to you, and it's going to be very personal indeed. You are going to become aware of the certain devil and like a one person and a certain group of people. It's nothing that you haven't been aware of before, but it's just a certain element that is going to be playing also kind of quite significant role here, because this devilish person or a devilish group of people is nothing that you weren't aware of before, but now it is just going to be, it's more like about the confirmation. Maybe you just waited for that little confirmation, and that confirmation is going to consist of you not wanting to be the part of like a devilish way of thinking, or the part of some kind of like a darkness. And this is something that it's not that was necessarily in your life, but it was just kind of affecting your energy, and you have to also kind of avoid this, because at the same time this is going to play an important role about you kind of changing your mind about something, that was very much so draining your energy. Not as such changing your mind about it, but just like kind of having a not allowing this vibration to take the better of you, like in terms of the energy. And when it comes to your spirit and soul, this is not going to be affected whatsoever. That in itself is going to be playing absolutely big mama role when it comes to like pretty much so abandoning the certain part of your life, abandoning the certain part of your life that you kind of like maybe you were thinking about, but you will just want to avoid this devil and the devilish group of people because that's on that particular side a little bit. On another hand, what you need to understand, my gorgeous Gemini, it's like a little bit of challenge, because I think that maybe, when it comes to the specific family members and the specific people that are so important to you, there is going to be like a bit of a challenge here, misunderstanding in between you and somebody, like a family members, or like a people that are the best friends to you, people who mean to you so much. These people are special, these people are sacred, these people are important, but they have been misled. and they are going to try to plant their opinions on you, and you know that these opinions absolutely don't make sense whatsoever, because you know something that they don't know. But on another hand, these are not evil people, these are not horrible people, these are people in your life, but they have been terribly misled. Okay, they have been terribly misled, and your job would be like, my Lord, for the love of God, if you possibly can, to stay on top of things without arguing. Just remember that they have been terribly misled. Okay, so they're gonna try to try to make you to do something, or they're gonna try to make you think in their way, but it's already caused like a little blockage so far with a little bit of negativity, because you already had a bit of a misunderstanding. So this is about to come back and bite you. No, I'm joking. This is about to come back, and you're gonna have to deal with this again. But then again, you need to understand, you will be challenged, but you know something that they don't know. They're not horrible. They're not evil. They have just been terribly misled. And on top of that, these are people in your life. These are people who are important to you. So you do not want to fall out with them whatsoever. Just try to, because you're very wise, Gemini. You're very intelligent. Your spiritual intelligence is completely out of this world. I'm telling you, as I said before, you're just one of those signs that, you know, if you see someone, or if you see something, no joke with you. You just know if something is not right, something is not right. As simple as that. Maybe some other signs, you know, they can also have this power to recognize this straight away. Some signs, you know, take slightly longer. It really depends on the actual signs, but it depends on our spiritual journey as well. So you have to remember that you are the one who knows something that they don't. And please, 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 just try to be friendly. That's something that try to try to make them think like, you think like them. If you think that this is the right way, try to smile, try to not give out as much as you know, as much as you're aware, because if you do, your opinions are so bloody different that there is absolutely no point. You must understand they have been misled, and it's not necessarily their fault, you know. So this is something you need to remember. See the goodness in people, these particular people, not negativity, because these people, you know, they mean to you, they mean to your life, they're your family, you know, and also at the same time, you are going to have a really nice reward when it comes to that as well. At around the actual 9th of, this is going to get back to you. This is going to get back to you later on, big time. Okay, and it may be hard now, but it's going to get back to you. And in general, you know, if you feel challenged, this is nothing unusual here when it comes to feeling challenged. It's not only about your family, but in the first 11 days of March, and then in between the 21st and the 31st of March, there are two different people that are going to be challenging you. And these people have got nothing to do with you. These people have nothing to do with your life. But they're just so gone. They're absolutely gone. Their opinions, there's something completely wrong with these people. There is something wrong with their opinions. They don't mean anything to you. So these are completely different people to your family members. With them, you just avoid just have a smile on your face and try to rise above that negative energy and negative vibration, and do not waste your energy on people who don't mean anything to you. It's absolutely pointless, but I'm just preparing you that you are going to be challenged for your way of thinking. And sometimes with certain people, who cares if they don't mean nothing to us? Why would you say to them how you feel? Why would you say to them what you think? You know, because this is about something very specific, and your opinions are like you're in Bolivia and they're in Russia. Do you know what I mean? You're like in France and they're like in Canada. Do you know what I mean? You're like in two completely different places. Your opinions are. So there is absolutely no point to waste your precious energy. You're gonna need your energy when it comes to planning and when it comes to the next steps of your life, because you are going to have a really great success this month, my gorgeous Gemini. And I like it because you have been waiting for this for such a long time. But at the same time, you know, it's only the beginning stages of, and it's going to come in the form of the actual breakthrough. I like it because I know how much this is gonna mean to you. At the same time, you know, at around the the actual 9th of March, at around the 9th of March, you're going to come across a certain obstacle, and by working on this obstacle, you know, and this obstacle is pretty much so to do with the certain difficulties, changes in your life, and that is just going to make you feel very much so like kind of like just like a little bit anxious, you know. It's a little obstacle that you are going to have, but at the same time someone's mask is going to be fallen here as well. You are going to be able to see a bit of a hidden enemy here, and that hidden enemy is going to come like a blessing at the same time, because it's going to show you exact part of your life that you need to make an adjustment with. Okay, you need to make an adjustment, and that even more so 2 or 3 days later, as soon as you become aware of this hidden enemy, someone's like mask is going to be fallen. There's not going to be face over there, it's going to be lots of worms, you know. But then again, I suppose it's not going to surprise you so much, because there was something that you've already felt that was kind of off. But what is more important here, that is going to pretty much so influence you, impact you in the best possible way, and it's going to show you which exactly part of your life do you kind of make an adjustment with. It's brilliant, because only like about 2 or 3 days later, something is just going to come to you completely. Something is going to happen to you when it comes to the actual you will be thinking about the success, your success, and then you will basically be thinking about the actual that particular adjustment that I said. And when you're thinking about that adjustment in your life again, there is the actual sign that you are going to have within the next 2 or 3 days. There is going to be an important omen, my gorgeous Gemini. An important omen, sign, a very lucky sign is going to come in the form of a bird. Whether you're going to see the bird outside, whether you're going to see on your window ledge, whether there is a bird is going to fly on your gorgeous finger, you know, like it doesn't really matter. You will know that this bird, there is something going to be very specific about this little bird. It's going to be sharing your dimension, it's going to be sharing your energy, so you're going to feel this in a completely different way. Maybe the color of this bird is going to be really strange, maybe this bird is going to look at you right into your eyes, but the bottom line is that when you see that omen, when you see that sign, you will need to know that your life is about to change big time. And it's also going to be pretty much so a very strong sign that what is on your mind, that is bringing you down, that is slowing you, that is like kind of making you feel really kind of negative and unhappy with yourself. Yes, there is going to be something that is just going to be stuck at the back of your mind, and you're going to be like, oh, this is a big mama, you know, it's going to be stuck at the back of your mind. But that particular thing is going to be resolved within the next 25 days. Exactly 25 days. Within the next 25 days, that problem is going to be resolved, which is going to be on your mind. So, of course, this is a big mama in many different ways, my gorgeous Gemini. So you have to follow these signs, you have to follow these synchronicities, because it's going to be absolutely mind-blowing. So when you see this little bird, so you see, just pay attention to the actual, what was on your mind, the problem, the negativity. And that negativity is going to take exactly, it's going to be resolved within the next 25 days. And this in itself is going to be the moment. This is the time of blessing. This is something that is going to empower you. This is the time of blessings, and it's also going to empower you at the same time. On another hand, you know, there is, within the last 7 days of March, you're also going to have a really important conversation with somebody who's so close to you, like your lover, Mr. Lover. No, somebody, Mr. Lover. No, somebody who's very important to you, like a partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, or maybe even like a family member, or like maybe the best friend, but somebody who's so important to you is going to play a big role within the last 7 days in March as well. Conversation is going to bring so much out of everything. In fact, this is going to be completely unplanned. It's also going to happen out of the blue, baby. Conversation within the last 7 days in March. It's going to, like, my God, you're going to start talking about blue sky, and then you're going to end up talking about, like, oh my Lord, about, I don't know, like cars or something completely different. You know, it's going to jump from one point to another point, and then something is going to come up. Very important conversation is going to happen with someone, but it's going to be unplanned, because you're going to start talking about something completely different, and then the power of this communication conversation is just going to like kind of expand to, oh my God, so many other things. There will be other things that are going to come up in conversation that are going to be so important, because you are going to realize something so significant here. Through this conversation, you're going to get a confirmation about the specific part of your life when it comes to like kind of like you wanting to learn more, and that in itself is going to be connected to the certain news that you are going to get at around a similar time, and that news is going to give you an idea when it comes to that respect for knowledge and desire to learn something new. You know, you're going to get that news, and that news is going to like kind of like a pretty much so going to point you towards this, and it's going to confirm this to you in the form of the actual plan that you wanted to do before, something that you were like kind of wanted to happen and wanted to work on over the last 7 months. That was very powerful time, but then now it's going to come up with this new plan. You're going to realize the new plan, how to kind of get to the certain stage of your life, and this in itself, it's also going to give you confidence, and it's also going to give you the strength and power over uncertain efforts. That new plan that I'm saying, it's not completely brand new, but it's just kind of going to have lots of elements from before. Something that you wanted to happen before, and it was stuck in the past. So now you will kind of like have a new elements around this plan, how you're going to get there. In fact, you are about to plant a very important spiritual seed. So by the time you get to the 15th of September 2022, it's going to be very successful for you indeed. The 15th of September 2022, it's going to be extremely successful for you, and you will see the complete correlation with everything that was happening in March, and with things that you began, with things that you started. It's just going to blow up. At the same time, you need to kind of understand the power of your own manifestation. Don't think negatively, because you're going to slow yourself down. You're going to slow your process, baby. No, baby, no. Be as optimistic as you can, because when it comes to the actual power of manifestation, you will be able to do quite a lot, as long as you don't ignore the inspiration. As long as you don't ignore your internal calling, your inner calling, it's gonna be obvious, you know, at around the 23rd, 24th and the 25th of March 2022. It's just something that you're gonna come across, and it's just gonna really kind of really remind you of what happiness is and what optimism is, and it's also gonna remind you of how important it is to stay true to yourself. Now, my gorgeous Gemininis, more than ever. When it comes to the actual health and things like that, you also need to understand the balance is going to be so important this month. A lot is going to be going on. You're going to achieve quite a lot, and you're going to be really surprised with yourself with the amount of things that you're actually going to achieve. Like, for example, in terms of longevity, you're going to be able to go for so much longer. As soon as you find a certain aspect of your life, and you're going to surprise yourself with the amount of energy that you have. Every single time that happens, you know, throughout the month, you also have to realize that these are the specific parts of your life that are getting starting the beginning of unfoldment, but they're gonna kind of make you aware of also like how powerful your energy is and how long you can go with the specific aspects of your life. And this is also going to be a sign how unique you are, how sacred you are, and how you pretty much so need to follow that path. But because at the same time that can kind of like open us up quite spiritual and psychically, because a lot is going to be happening, a lot is going to be going on. This is why you also need to pay attention to your balance and protect yourself. Take care of yourself, take care of your soul, take care of your spirit. Go inside the forest. This is so important. I know it sounds crazy, like, oh my God, he's lost it, you know. No, baby, no. It's basically, it's like everything is changing in March. The March is a very powerful time of the year when it comes to the actual nature, but everything around us, you know. But also when it comes to us, we are changing, the nature is changing, so we get the most of that vibration and that powerful flow when we are basically just throw ourselves into it at the right time. So the March is going to be the right time to visit the forest, try to kind of sit by the water, if you can, if you're lucky enough, if there is a river, if there is the sea, you can just sit next to the water, sit next to the sea, and this can also just rejuvenating, just listening to the sounds, enjoying yourself and feeling this powerful vibration and energy. It's like, oh my God, it's like a big mama time. But then on another hand, also what I strongly suggest is to ground yourself, to have a spiritual grounding. So if you find like a little bit of forest, like kind of like a path, or like a little bit of ground, soil, where people don't walk, something that is unwalkable, where lots of people, not unwalkable, but something where people don't walk, because this is where the energy is very powerful, it's very unique, and it's very pure at the same time. So if you find a little place in the forest, you just kind of sit down and just have like a deep breathing, relax yourself a little bit, chill out. Absorb that energy around you, absorb that power around you, because this is going to increase your vibration almost immediately. It's going to get you thinking and going without you even realizing. It's what you needed, it's what you wanted, it's what is going to really start having a really powerful impact on your life, and without you even realizing that at that moment in time. So you just sit down, chill out, like kind of like put your hands on the ground and touch the ground, gently with your hands, and just like just absorb this energy, absorb this power, but at the same time, just feel how beautiful you feel, and how unique you feel, and how really significant you feel just by touching your ground. Just this in itself, it's like, oh my God, it already starts the process of healing. The second thing is just to like close your eyes and just imagine beautiful white silver light around your hand. Like as you're touching your ground like this, you just imagine beautiful silver light around your left hand. For example, you can start with the right hand, it's up to you, but let's say you start with the left hand, silver white beautiful light around your hand, and this is all the power of your own energy that is just gonna get things going. At the same time, our mind is our energy, our mind is very powerful. As long as we understand this, we can just be on top of the world like this. But people very often forget our own power. By forgetting our own power, we forget our own essence. By forgetting our own essence, we don't give credit to ourselves when we should give a credit to ourselves, and that can kind of also play an important role in our lives when it comes to us thinking about like a near future planning and things like that without even realizing. So basically, close your eyes and imagine beautiful white silver light going around your hand, but at the same time connecting and touching the earth, touching this magical vibration and energy. And then chill out like that a little bit, and then imagine like a beautiful white and silver light going around your first finger, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, and you're touching the ground while you're just relaxing like this. You imagine this beautiful light, and then the second thing, you just imagine that beautiful white light going into the ground 5 or 6 like inches and going back. Then the second finger, it goes into the ground, that beautiful silver light, and coming back into your finger. Then the third, fourth and fifth, and then you do it on another hand, and this is the very, very powerful process of your own rejuvenation, of your own grounding. This starts the healing process of healing almost immediately, but it's also going to reflect on your way of thinking, and after that moment in time, you're going to feel so much better. It's going to bring a sacred balance into your life, but at the same time, it's going to within the next few hours after that, this is why you're going to find this so beneficial, not only when it comes to your body, mind and spirit, but it's also when it comes to like pretty much so the part of your life that you have been so stuck, that you were just like kind of like really fighting with, and you're so scared to move on. It's just suddenly you're gonna have a green light. Suddenly you're gonna feel so strong. Suddenly you're gonna feel so keen. Suddenly you're gonna feel so eager, and it's just gonna give you that power, that confidence, that courage, to go through the specific problem that was slowing you down. And once you step forward, you will see how easy it is to get to the other side, and you will see how powerful you are as long as you give a credit to yourself. So this is why this is so important. Rejuvenate yourself and take care of yourself when it comes to your own energy. Indeed. On another hand, when it comes to the first date, my gorgeous Gemini, but before I go there, I would highly recommend you to get this gorgeous, beautiful, absolutely outstanding purple Suji stone. This is something that is going to help you to communicate throughout March and April. This is something that is going to help you to come out of yourself. This is something that is going to help you to communicate and say the best possible things when you're surrounded by the negative people and the negative situations, because it's going to help you to come out of yourself at the time when people are very kind of stealing your energy, at the time when you're surrounded by the negativity, and at the time when you're surrounded by the people who are thinking way too negatively. And that's no way to be. That's no way to live this life. You can think negatively for a while, but you can't think negatively forever, because it's just taking your own balance and it's just preventing you to have a progress in your life. Let people think negatively for all their life if they want, but you need to snap out of it. And this is brilliant to do, because this gorgeous pendant almost immediately makes you feel so much better about yourself. It brings you the energy. Just touching this, it just makes me feel like very much so already, like kind of ooh la la. It brings me this energy, so that is just going to be transferred in the way you talk, the way you speak, the way you express yourself, because this is going to be important throughout March, April, and even May 2022. It generates positivity, positive energy, and it's against negative emotions and situations, and it relieves stress and establishes peace of mind and emotional healing as well. It's brilliant because it's perfect against anxiety that can affect us in so many different levels, and also it promotes dreams and lucid dreams, which is so important at this moment in our lives. This gorgeous pendant comes with sterling silver chain, and the link to buy this is in the description below. By buying things from my channel, you're also supporting my channel as well. I have to say that, my gorgeous Gemini. So thank you very much. So now the first date, it's going to be on the 2nd of March. Now the 2nd of March, it's like basically it's not going to start on the 2nd of March, but the 1st of March, it's already like, oh, you're going to feel like a little bit like a restless, and you're going to feel like maybe like a little bit low and a little bit negative. Wait, I'm not going to be dark Lala. I will tell you, this is important. It's a bit of a yin-yang moment, okay? It's important. Okay, so the first of all, you're going to feel like a little bit negative. The 1st of March, a little bit weird, a little bit strange, you know. It's going to feel like a little bit of like a twilight zone out there. The energy is going to be very thick, and the energy is going to be really different, but that same energy, it's also going to get you thinking, going to get you going. By the time you get to the 2nd of March, that energy is going to get you thinking and get you going. What I mean by this, because by the time you get to the 2nd of March, it's like you will kind of be thinking like suddenly you're going to open your mind. Suddenly your eyes are going to be open from the first moment you wake up in the morning. Your mind is going to be open, your eyes are going to be open, and suddenly something is going to come to you. This is going to be a big mama here, because it's just suddenly it's going to kind of make you aware of the like kind of like a little bit of you know, you're going to become awake to an unknown danger. So this is brilliant, because at the same time it will point out who is draining your energy. Okay, and what is draining your energy, and why is it draining your energy? Why are you allowing your energy to be drained? So you will see your own power here, you know, because at the same time, you know what I like, in between the 2nd of March and the 15th of March, this is all about the actual really kind of very, very unusual and brilliant epiphanies that you're actually going to have, you know, that are going to lead to magical opportunities. You know, the realization are going to be mind-blowing, completely out of the world. But at the same time, you know, it's to do with a certain plans that you're going to be like having on your mind, and you just also need to understand that these plans are going to work out absolutely perfectly, because I know that you're going to oh God, what about this, what about that? No baby, no. You need to put yourself first. You need to put yourself first. You need to pay attention to yourself and make sure that everything is okay with you, and then you can help to other people. But this is the time for you and for your own progress, and you need to understand this, you know. At the same time, you know, you are gonna see things in a whole new light, and that in itself is gonna point you towards, it's gonna point towards the very specific part of your life where you need to embrace your own uniqueness. You need to embrace your own uniqueness. This is your power. This is who you are. This is how you need to live your life. This is important. It's to do why you're here on this earth for. We're all here for the specific reason, you know, but that reason comes comes up with your passion, because your passion is your life. Your passion makes you feel alive. Your passion makes you feel optimistic. Your passion is like an absolutely mind-blowing sacred energy that gets us going. Your passion is your purpose. Your purpose is your passion. So this is exactly what I'm talking about doing things that makes you feel good, about doing things that makes you feel alive, about doing things that makes you feel excited, and about also having that power and balance to be able to ignore downer, constant downer that you've been showered by for such a long time. There is only so much downer that we can actually take as a human. At some point there is a cutoff point, which is exactly what is going to happen to you here. It's important, because what is going to be happening in between the 2nd and the 15th of March. It's all going to lead towards you making one of the biggest progresses of your life in terms of your home, happiness, pleasure, joy, like a peace, contentment. This is going to lead towards a very big change, and you will know exactly what am I talking about, because you at some point in time when it comes to May and June 2022, you're already going to feel so proud of yourself. There are other people in your life that are going to feel so proud for you as well. And this in itself is going to mean to you so much. But it's all about your own uniqueness. You staying true to yourself and you following your own path. The second important date, my gorgeous Gemini, and before I go there, another thing I was going to recommend you, TikTok. This is beautiful green moss agate. I mean, look how beautiful this pendant is. This in itself, it's a very powerful crystal to actually wear throughout March, April and May, but especially now, because in March the nature is changing, we are changing, so we just go with this absolutely mind-blowing, very unique but although very powerful flow. This green moss agate, it helps you to actually reconnect and connect with the nature, which is really important. But on another hand, when it comes to prosperity, when it comes to finances, when it comes to us thinking sharply, when it comes to us connecting to ourselves, when it comes to us being brave, when it comes to us being confident, making the best possible decisions when it comes to like finances and the future and things like that. This is absolutely brilliant to wear March, April and May 2022 in particular, because it's going to bring you calm, and also it's going to help you to concentrate, focus and to make the best possible decisions for yourself. So it's also kind of unique crystal to wear when we are surrounded by those energy vampires, surrounded by people with very strong opinions, people with very opposing opinions, and things like that. This helps you so much to stay true to yourself, but it also at the same time brings you good luck. This gorgeous green moss agate comes with a sterling silver chain, and the link to buy this is in the description below. By buying things from my channel, you're also supporting my channel. I have to say that, so thank you very much, my gorgeous Gemini. So now the second important date is going to be on the 16th of March. Oh, this is a good one. Look, I'm telling you, you have been through so much. I know that you have been through so much, and you've been challenged, not only by your life in general, but I know that you have been challenged by the certain people in your life. And stay strong. You are going to win. You very, very soon you will be able to prove your point. Very, very soon you're going to be able to prove the point. You were sticking to your own point, and you're absolutely right. And that point that you're going to be able to prove to these people who are very close to you, people who are important to you, it's already going to start happening slowly at the end of April 2022. You just need to kind of learn how to iron things over in order not to fight with things, as I said before, in order to not to fight with people who mean to us. No, baby, no. So now the 16th of March is just like a really, this is going to be very good news for you. It's not only the 16th, the 16th, 17th and 18th of March. These 3 days are going to be absolutely huge when it comes to you expecting this. You were expecting this. You were waiting for this news. You were hoping for this news, and you know what? This news is coming. This is going to be really good, and it's like not only going to be pretty much so, oh my God, reveal the next stage of your life, but it's going to put you on a slight advanced an advanced stage. So it's what you expected, but it's going to be a little bit better, because through that you are gonna the big thing is the certain desires that you are going to realize, and these desires are important at this particular part of your journey, and these desires are pretty much so going to be connected to the certain idea, and the answer to that is you need to be yourself, you need to be as creative as possible, you need to trust yourself, you need to also understand that by you being spontaneous in between the 16th of March and the 31st of March, you're going to achieve so much. The more you're spontaneous, the more you respond to things that are kind of driving you forward, the more powerful you're going to be in terms of self-confidence and in terms of your own willpower. This is so important, because by you being spontaneous, this also means that, you know, you just the ideas that come to you, especially in between the 16th of March and the 31st of March, the ideas that come to you, just go for it. The feelings of, I want to explore this, just go for it. Even if it's exploring like, oh my God, I've never had this planned. Oh, it could even be this, for example, but you are following this vibration, you're following this path, like suddenly, oh, I had all this type of plants, and now suddenly I want like a green plant, which is like this, for example. I suddenly want a red plant, which is like this. Let's explore how I'm going to feel like by buying this plant, you know, and I normally don't buy this plant, but I feel like buying it right now. You see, it's that type of thing. Anything could be, anything is going to come to you, but it's all going to lead towards a certain thing when it comes to your calling. And you could be talking about a certain stone or something, or like a certain candle or something, and then you're still kind of like, you buy this candle for the first time, you never got this candle, now suddenly you feel like buying this. So this is all about you exploring different things and different energy, which is going to bring a different vibration into your life, which you need at this moment in your life. So you just have to like kind of explore things that are calling you, and there are going to be so many different things, and that you're going to feel differently about now suddenly. And this is purely because you have been prepared for this moment in time for a long time, and that moment is coming, the time of changes, but also the time where you're going to realize how much you've actually changed over the last 36 months. But this is going to be good realization, this is going to be important realization. You know, this, you know, you need to really kind of pay attention to this, my gorgeous Gemini, because the 16th, going back to the 16th of March, it's all about, you know, the accomplishment that you are going to feel, and the confidence that you are going to have, and that in itself is going to bring you a peace, tranquility into your life, new healing into your life. By the same time, it's going to lead towards the fact and realization how beautiful you are, how powerful you are, how strong you are, how powerful you can be, as long as you give credit to yourself. You know, how you will realize how powerful you are. But at the same time, you are going to have a very kind of interesting new emotional experience, and that emotional experience that you are going to have on the 16th of March, it's actually going to highlight your psychic abilities. This is going to be very, very interesting time indeed, because it's also at the same time going to really confirm to you that you should be doing only those things that you feel passionate about in this life. Don't waste any more energy in this life on things that you don't want to do. Don't waste any more energy in this life on people who you don't want to be around. Don't waste any more energy in this life on people who just have a completely different opinions to you. Don't waste any more energy in this life on people who absolutely don't make sense. Don't waste any energy in this life on people who are so negative and so low and so down. My Lord, we had enough of this. Absolutely enough. That can take your energy for a while until you reach this moment in time. Now you are most certainly, most importantly, moving on. The third important date, and this is a big mama, the 31st of March is a big mama, because it's only like kind of like you're gonna become aware of this opportunity, but this is only like the beginning of, and that opportunity, you being aware of this opportunity, and these are only the beginning of, it's also going to show and point out the part of your life that you need to work on. And also it's going to point out that you're ready for the next stage. You're ready for the next step. And it's pretty much so to do with the new beginning stages on the 31st of March. And also it's to do with an advanced stage of your life. And it's naturally, this is natural progress, natural next stage for you. It's a natural progress, okay? And it's also, you're going to find this challenging, but then again, don't worry, because by the time you get to the actual end of May, this is just going to turn into blessing blessings and empowerment. As I mentioned before, it's going to be on a complete stage 1599, really, you know. It's going to surprise you, and it's going to have a really big jump. There is a lot that is going to unfold after this moment in time. My point is, on the 31st of March, whether you realize this or not, you are going to plant a very important spiritual seed. Just by being aware of that, it's the sign of your growth. But just by knowing this is the sign of your growth, is the sign of how much you moved on. So it's all about your own devotion here that is going to kick in, but at the same time being loyal to yourself and kind of like offering kind of more services towards a very specific goal. What this goal is, this is going to become absolutely evident. By the same time, it's the motivation behind someone. The certain person is going to motivate you, and that, you know, a person is meant to be in your life. That person is meant to be part of your journey. It's the absolutely sacred person in your life, someone very unique in your life, someone very quirky, someone very unusual, someone very bizarre, but someone very kind of spiritually orientated, and someone so powerful in so many different ways, because that particular person remembers like many lifestyles. Many lifetimes, you know. That person remembers, it's an all spirit, and it's well aware of many lifetimes. So this person contains like a very strong and powerful spiritual knowledge in this world. So this person is going to play an absolutely mind-blowing role, because through that person you will know that it's time of transformation, it's about to start. You will know exactly that that specific goal is the right thing to do. By the same time, it's going to contain it's going to need a certain alteration, and you will also know what alteration is, because it's you're going to feel like it's going to happen at a time when you will want to kind of change things around, change things about. And this is also going to be a very strong sign that you are going through an important transformation. You're going to have a very much so like a burst of energy, but as soon as you kind of respond to this energy, there are so many more ideas that you are going to have, because you become very magnetic. You're sending something very unique to the universe, and it comes back to you with like kind of answers that you didn't even ask for, you didn't know that you asked for. And this is when things become really, really magical indeed. I really like it, because by the end of the 31st of March, you know, before you go to sleep, you know, this is also going to be a very interesting situation. Before you go to sleep at the end of like the 31st of March, you will see that something is going to be very unusual about this night. Maybe it's going to be really quiet out there, it's going to be very unusual. You'll be able to feel this kind of like a very kind of like a different dimension. But this is also your sign that you spiritually and psychically you opened up to a very, very high level. It's the process of the actual lotus flower, but you've been through the mud, you've been through the dirty water, and now you're coming on top, my babies. Now you're facing the moon, you're facing the sun. Before you go to sleep on the 31st of March, you are pretty much so gonna become aware of like other aspect of that opportunity that I said before. So it's gonna start with that opportunity, but by the time you go to sleep, I'm trying to say it's gonna be the second stage, that you're gonna like kind of something is gonna come to you, very strong power, very strong energy to move on, and you're going to become even aware of another element of this opportunity. Something is going to come to you, something that was missing, and this is going to be your spiritual key, which is also on another hand going to open your eyes and make you very bold, very courageous, and very optimistic at the time when you need this the most. And you will know that now is the time to take action, and most certainly to do those things that you are passionate about. My gorgeous Gemini, this is important. Okay, so now I'm just going to see what is going to happen briefly in the first part of March, mid-March, and the last part of March. The first part of March, it's all about this beautiful new emotional experience that you are going to have, you know, and this in itself is like a pretty much so gonna make you aware of like something very special within you, something very unique is going to be highlighted, and that in itself is just gonna give you the necessary insight that you needed when it comes to the specific problem in your life. You will know what to avoid. The mid part of March is just basically, please do not focus on the negative, because there is a lot going to be going on, there is a lot going to be happening, and what you need to do is look for the hidden blessings, which in other words, you know, the power of manifestation is going to be very strong the mid-March. So you know, when the power of manifestation is very strong, when it comes to our own ability, it goes both ways. We feel this thick energy, but we are the one who can manipulate this in the best possible way. So if you think really negative, you just also need to understand that this is a very strong time of the manifestation. You can project this negativity, but you can also project something really positive and really optimistic. So do not focus on negative. The last part of March, my gorgeous Gemininis, you know, there is going to be very interesting situation and topic that you are going to be part of, and it's going to make your heart flutter. And I really like this, because that in itself is going to help you realize that there is very much so with this, you will realize that you're coming to terms with the actual situation that is going to bring relief into your life, because at the same time you will become aware of the opportunity for new happiness, and that in itself is going to lead towards you feeling so much better, because it's connected to the weight of your shoulders. But then at the same time, you know, the new start, new beginning, new path, and new energy is going to step in, and you are most certainly going to be able to feel this. So now, my gorgeous Geminini, I'm just going to see what is going to happen to those of you who are in relationship now. This is it. You just basically have been affected so much by certain things that happen to both of you, and it slowed down your process in life and your planning, because you had a bit of like kind of maybe lots of negativity from the certain people in your life. Maybe like a certain family members were pressuring you about something, they were giving you the certain pressure, and that in itself kind of resolved in a negative emotion and emotions and kind of slowed you down. But it also kind of affected both of you when it comes to the actual planning. So now you're gonna realize this, and you will be able to establish this. But also you need to understand, both of you, not to overreact like with a certain family members or certain people. Just remember that they have been terribly misled, and they mean well, but they come across like completely different. And sometimes, you know, we deal with people in life that don't express themselves like in a normal way. Sadly, certain people can be really happy and really excited, but then they tell you something and they're excited, but it comes out like all darkness, sadness and weirdness. It comes out wrong. So there were lots of situations that both you and your partner have been through like that affected both of you and affected your way of planning. So you will be able to establish this, and you will be able to kind of put an end to this, stop to this, because it just like kind of affected you, and it affected your both confidence. So now it is a very big realization that you're going to have it around the 17th, 18th and the 19th of March when it comes to the couples, and also when it comes to the 28th of March. Very interesting insight you're both going to have, and you're going to realize that you both had a similar insight at different times, you know, but these insights suddenly have kind of brought both of you to the specific part of your life when it comes to your past. So the certain reflection from the past, it's going to bring you an insight with a very specific problem, and that in itself is going to be connected to the massive step forward. This is a brilliant month for the actual couples, because you're going to make a very important decision on the 27th of March 2022 as well, and this decision is going to be connected to an adjustment. But in order to make this adjustment, you are going to need to make the specific journey. Okay, so now the next is going to be the Geminini that are single and ready to stranger in the night, Geminini in the morning. My gorgeous Geminini, you know, this is like really important here, because I do think someone really mind-blowing is about to enter your lifey. It is just someone really different. It's about to enter your life. Someone really different. It's about to enter your vibration. Someone really different. It's about to enter your energy. This is so kind of interesting, because this is a pure sign that, you know, you just changed so much, but in the best possible way. You grew so much spiritually. You grew so much internally. You have also been through very kind of strange things when it comes to people in your life lately and things like that, and maybe certain things just haven't been happening because you were like kind of around wrong people in your life, but there was also so much happening when it comes to lots of other aspects in your life, so you haven't been ready to for this particular person. There is someone very special to enter your life, and this person is going to be different. They're going to look different to who you normally go for. There's something that's going to be like so unusual about them, like you will want to take care of them, but at the same time it's someone very strong, but it's at the same time someone who you want to take care of, but it's at the same time someone who is really cute, but at the same time someone who is really inspiring you. It's like, my God, the power of your mind and the power of the actual look, as you will know who this is, because before you see who this person is, you will see their eyes. You will first feel their energy, then you're going to look, and then you're going to see each other's eyes. You will not even going to see the body or anything of this person. You're just going to lock each other's eyes, you know, like cluck, you know, and then it's going to be like a very kind of unusual vibration, but it's going to be undeniable. There are going to be little butterflies here, like everywhere, you know, and the butterflies are going to go in so many different places where you've never felt a little butterflies before. So I'm just saying that this is going to be some very powerful and unusual vibration, and someone who is very much so going to, you're not going to be able to kind of forget about this person, and things are most certainly going to take like one step at a time. But we need to remember, you know, I mentioned this before, that what people very often forget is it's so important to kind of like start relationship from the beginning and work your way towards the right way. Like people make a mistake very often, start relationship at the end. So if you start relationship at the end, then there is nowhere to work it towards, you know. So this is, I'm trying to say that it's going to take a while with this person in order to get where you want to get, but it is just more like, you know, like very much so like these feelings and emotions and the flirtings that you're going to have. This is the vibration that you need, you know, and you will see exactly what I mean. This person will be very, very special, but just remember, one step at a time. Okay, my gorgeous Gemini, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I love every single one of you. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light. So I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, Psychic Medium. Love you. Bye. Mwah.